understand? You done found a new breed of Hebrews that stand and walk with the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. And we don't care who we got to come up against. You ain't standing before this truth. You understand? We done took them all on and gonna continue to take them all on.
Surrounded by Edomites, lost a lot of truth to this tree of life. Open up the book just to see I'm right. Reminiscing on my ancestors, on those ships who had to plead for life. Took us to a place where ain't never safe there. Poisoning our foods and put our children up in daycare. Fresh out of slavery, still thinking that they care. Guns in the community, children can't play there. Brothers still brainwashed, we died for that same cuss. Took away our history, believing that we ain't lost. Brother, I'm an Israelite, sin is like kryptonite. Brothers won't pray, no, they'd rather link a shit tonight. Praises to the Most High, I ain't like most guys. Eyes on the future, but I learned from a boat ride. Tribe of Benjamin, inherited on both sides. Background Jamaican, mistreated and I know why. I'm an Israelite, die for the Israelites. Blood of the Israelites, cry for the Israelites. Going through it cause we Israelites. Kwam Yashra Allah to all my Israelites. I'm an Israelite, die for the Israelites. Blood of the Israelites, cry for the Israelites. Going through it cause we Israelites. Kwam Yashra Allah to all my Israelites.
Kwam Yashra Allah, sons of the power. Rise from the ghetto when Satan want us devoured. The seal of the Lord ain't found in church towers. Never dying on my knees like no coward. Wanna be an Israelite, you gon' need more than fringes. You gon' need to show you approve and get in them scriptures. Oh, I forgot to mention, traumatized from the lynching. Homicide, we the victim, homicide at the ending. Kids with PTSD, suffering symptoms, never getting treatment. Something he gotta sleep with. Stockholm syndrome so long that it ain't a secret. That's why I die for them brothers I'm facing east with. Cause I'm an Israelite, crackers better get it right. Visions of my enemies, death flow through my dreams at night. If your mind ain't dead, then we don't dream alike. Reporting live from hell, home of Christians and Edomites.
I'm an Israelite, die for the Israelites. Blood of the Israelites, cry for the Israelites. Going through it cause we Israelites. Kwam Yashra Allah to all my Israelites.
Hey, Shalom Israel. Shalom Bmore. I mean, this is the Isupkbmore scripture breakdown class.
Damn right. Clap it up.
Clap it up.
Damn right.
Hey, listen, we are the Isupkbmore, the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. We coming straight out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, you understand? Like, we are under Commanding General Yohana. If it is not under Commanding General Yohana, it is not the truth.
Right.
You understand? We don't stand with anyone. We have no affiliations to any other Hebrew Israelite groups, no Christian churches, no Muslim mosques. We are not Muslims. You understand? We stand alone, and we've been doing this since 1969. You understand? Bringing out the truth that the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are the true biblical Jews of the Bible. You understand? When you hear the Israelites in the Bible, it's talking about you black man, you Hispanic man, you Native American man. You understand? Like we come from a royal lineage. You understand? Our pedigree is the greatest pedigree on the face of this earth. You understand? But the thing is, when we don't know that, you understand, we perform and we behave like the heathens that surround us. You understand? So yeah, we've been bringing this truth out since 1969, and like I said, we are not affiliated with anyone. Tonight, we're gonna touch also on, we're gonna bring out who Esau is, because despite the fact that we've been bringing this out since 1969, you got so many people fighting the truth of it, because we so in love with our oppressor. We so in love with our oppressor that when the scripture speaks of him, we try to give that identity to somebody else. You understand? I've been hearing that Esau is not the so-called white man, that Esau is the Arabs over there fighting. You understand? Like some people believe that. But we're gonna go into the scriptures today, and we're gonna reveal who the devil is. You understand? We're gonna show who the devil is, because if we don't show it, it won't get shown. You understand? The Christian church ain't gonna show you who the devil is.
Right.
A lot of these fake Israelite groups, they're not gonna show you who the devil is, you understand? Why? Because they're benefiting from him. The Muslim laws ain't gonna tell you who the devil is. They'll tell you to flee and resist the devil and resist Satan and, don't choose his ways. Who the hell is he? Go ahead.
Slacky, sir. And also, if I may, sir. Also, historically, one of the things about the Black Muslim movement, they were actually funded by a white man named H.L. Hunt. Right. So of course, they ain't gonna go so far because the white man's funding them.
Yeah, you can't truly reveal the devil in the earth when the devil in the earth is the one that's actually funding you. You understand? Like, here in Isupkbmore, we're not funded by the devil. You understand?
That's right.
Like, we are funded by tithe-paying members, under Commander General Yohana, under Christ, under the Most High, you understand? Like, this is how we get down. So, like I said, we're going to bring out who the devil of the Bible is, then why we call this so-called white man, this colonizer, this oppressor, why we call him the devil that the Bible speaks of, you understand?
Right.
Devil in Hebrew means deceiver. Just being honest with yourself. Who else on the face of the earth have deceived the masses in the manner in which he did? You understand? Like, if you can take the greatest black man to ever walk the face of the earth, and you can turn him into a white man, you have deceived the masses, you feel me? When you can take the identity of the Lord's chosen people, and you can claim it, and then when a brother speaks on who he is, he's forced to apologize because you stole his identity.
Right.
You understand? Like, this is what the devil does. He's the greatest deceiver on the face of the earth. You know? We're going to find out who he is, where he come from. You understand? We're going to get this in the scriptures. You understand? If I could, we're going to start with 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 3. We're going to bring this out because a lot of people wonder why we speak on the white man so much, the so-called white man so much, you understand? It's imperative that we speak on him. It's important that we bring out who he is, you understand? You can't fight an invisible enemy. You understand? Like, you got to see who you're fighting. You got to know the tactics of this enemy that you're fighting, you understand? And this is not our words. This is the Lord's word.
Right.
You understand? You got that?
Come.
Go ahead.
2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 3. Let no man deceive you by any means.
Let no man deceive you by any means. You understand? Like, don't be deceived by no one. Like, if somebody tell you something, it's now your job to go back and prove it. You understand? It's the scripture say, study yourself and prove. Don't just take it because, you got a charismatic pastor or preacher or imam and he tell you one thing and you just accept it. Like, that's not good enough. You understand? Let no man deceive you by any means. Keep on.
For that day shall not come.
What day is that? That day shall not come. The day of the Lord shall not come. You understand? That day when Christ comes back, when the Most High sends Christ back into this earth, and we take control of this earth the way we were supposed to in the first place, you understand? That day shall not come unless, keep on.
Except there come a falling away first.
Except there come a falling away first, you understand? Like, what falling away must occur? Like, what falling away must occur in order, first, before that day shall come, you understand? Go ahead.
Pretty much revealing the falling away, pretty much us like falling away from the white man's system, per se.
That falling away means falling away from the Christian church.
That's right.
Falling away from the Muslim mosque. You understand? Falling away from the conscious community. Falling away from everything that this beast has set up.
That's right.
To destroy us. You understand? Like,
right.
We've got to fall away. Like, we have to fall away from those certain tactics that he's put in our communities and now he's put around us pretty much to control us. You understand? We are falling away from that system has to occur. Keep on.
And that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition.
Here we go. It's saying that man of sin be revealed. That means someone has to be revealed, you understand? Someone is being hidden, you understand? Who is this man being hidden? This devil is being hidden. The devil in the earth is being hidden right now, you understand?
Come.
Who he is, his identity, his tactics, his way of life, you understand? His doctrinal things, you understand? Like, he's been hidden right now. That man of sin has to be revealed, the son of perdition. What does perdition mean? Go ahead.
So like, is it mean destruction?
Perdition means eternal destruction. You understand? Go ahead.
So Salaki, sir, if I may.
Go ahead.
So is that why because Esau won't be in the kingdom?
He'll be in the kingdom.
Well, I mean, he won't have the inheritance.
He's going to be annihilated completely.
So that's why they call him the Salaki man. That's why they call him son of perdition.
The son of perdition.
Come.
Eternal destruction. Like, he's going to be erased. He's going to be annihilated. You understand?
Come.
Like, to him, repentance won't even be granted.
Come.
You understand? Like, he'll make the kingdom though. He'll make the kingdom because he got to serve out his slavery.
Come.
He has to be repaid. Like, they like to talk equality. The greatest equality is he's taking us into captivity, so he has to go into captivity.
Right.
It's not good enough for him to just be annihilated. You feel me? Like, the Lord is going to make him work off that punishment.
Right.
And then he's going to get rid of him. You understand?
Right.
But he has to be revealed. The son of perdition, the son of eternal destruction has to be revealed in order for this day, for that day, the day of the Lord to come. You understand? And this is why we got to speak to our people and bring it out to our people who the devil in the earth is. Because if we don't, you know what we're going to do? We're going to join ourselves to him. And once we join ourselves to the devil, and we start taking on his customs, we start taking on his way of life, when the Most High sends Christ back to punish him, we're going to get punished.
That's right.
Right.
You understand?
That's right. Tell him, preach.
So the thing
right.
is, this is a warning. This is a warning that the Lord is giving the nation of Israel. You feel me? If we do what the Lord say and separate ourselves from him, the priest of the Lord is going to bring out who he is. If we separate it, and now we showing our people who he is, when the Lord bring that judgment down on him, we'll be far away from him.
Right.
You understand? We don't have to keep dying and being punished for being disobedient children. You understand? And this is what the Lord is trying to make, the point the Lord is trying to make.
That's right.
If I could, we want to get into the origin of who Esau is. You understand?
Come.
Who Edom is. Let me get Genesis 25 and 22. We're going to break him down. We're going to break his characteristics down. We're going to show who he is according to these scriptures, because a lot of times when we speak on the nature of the so-called white man, everyone can agree that's outside of the nation of Israel. But the nation of Israel, we the only ones who, that's not, I know a good white person.
Right.
Johnny at the job, he's a good white guy,
Right.
They're not all the same. Like, when it comes to the so-called oppressor, I ain't gonna say the so-called oppressor, when it comes to the oppressor, the so-called white man, you understand? When we speak on him, that's the only person in the world that we want to treat as individuals. You understand? Like, we can't speak on him as a nation because we individualize him. Yeah, the most of them are racist, most of them are evil, most of them will kill you, but I know some good ones. Go ahead.
So, if I may, sir.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, I just wanted to piggyback off that because I always tell that the so-called good white man that you see, he is reaping the benefits of the crimes of his forefathers. And guess what? He has never, the good white men have never sat down and said, let's give this stuff back that were our forefathers. Because if I may, if they were good, then all these good white people would sit down and be like, you know what? Our forefathers were a part of this big crime. Let's give it back. No, they benefit off it and they live off of the crimes they did. So,
Yeah, what you're saying is heavy because The thing is, when you're ruling the world and you have everything at your disposal, why would you relinquish your power on the earth?
Come, right.
You understand? Like, that would actually mean that you have a righteous bone in your body, you feel me? Which he does not.
Right.
He is a beast. You understand? A beast does not have a conscience. You understand? Like, when it comes to this oppressor is the type that he'll seduce you with his kind words. He'll make it seem as if he has a good heart toward you. But all he's doing is setting you up for the slaughter.
Come.
You see what I'm saying? Like, that's the nature of him. We're going to get into that too. We're going to get into a lot of his characteristics so we can warn our people of how to deal with him. You understand?
Right.
A lot of our people do not know how to deal with the devil that the Bible speaks of, you know. And this is why we stay in prison. This is why we stay in child support court. This is why we stay locked up. You know, like, this is the reason why we're being destroyed. The real reason that there's damn near 400 murders in Baltimore every year is because no one has ever taught us who this devil was.
That's right.
You understand? Because naturally, if you point out who this devil is, you feel me, you want to search for an alternative. If I don't follow him because he's the devil, well, damn, who should I follow? You feel me?
Come.
You should follow these laws, statutes, and commandments.
Hey, Salaki, let me say this real quick. You tearing it up.
Come on, sir.
I'll say this real quick. And this is something we don't understand. And this is the reason why it's written in the scriptures that where the Lord says, two manner of people.
Come.
See, they're different from us. We don't understand what they mean by peace. We understand what we mean by peace. Peace and prosperity for everybody, right? Everybody is peaceful. There's no worrying. There's prosperity for everybody. We talk in two different languages. The white man's peace is you have to be completely subjugated. Because I can't lay my head down at night knowing you have power. You have to be available for exploitation. I have to be able to profit off of your bones.
Come. Right.
Have you ever heard the term unconditional surrender? That's the white man's peace. Unconditional surrender. He told it to the Native Indians. He told it to the Aboriginal Australians. He told it to us. Unconditional surrender means you are available for exploitation, meaning he can profit off of your bones. So when you say peace, his peace is more generally selfish. It's more, I'm going to profit. I'm going to be safe from any incursion from you. You have to be completely subjugated for me to feel peace.
Come.
Our peace and their peace are two completely different things, but our people don't understand this. We want to continue to trust them. You right on it, priest. And when you said you're going to bring out more of the attributes and their actions and the way that they are, you right on it. Bring it out. Bring it out. Bring it out.
And you make a heavy point because his perpetual hatred is for the nation of Israel.
Right.
You understand? Like, you know, we at the bottom of the totem pole everywhere we go.
Right.
So if you got somebody that's at the bottom, what do you need to put your foot on their neck continuously for? You understand?
Come.
The reason for it being is within his spirit, he know that punishment is right around the corner. He know, like, they like to say, well, I never had a slave. You know, I'm not racist. I'm not like my forefathers, you know. But they know in their spirit that they have to pay for the crimes of their forefathers.
That's right.
Like, they know this. So that's why they feel the need to keep their foot on our neck. The longer they can keep their foot on our neck and cause us to be a part of who they are, the longer that day of the Lord should not come. You understand?
Come.
Like, that's what we just brought out the second Thessalonians.
That's right.
You understand? But let's get into who he is. You understand? Let me get Genesis 25 and 22.
Come. Genesis chapter 25, verse 22. And the children struggled together within her. And she said, if it be so, why am I thus? And she went to inquire of the Lord.
Right now, Rebecca, the wife of Isaac, she's pregnant, and the children that's within her are struggling. You understand? Like, this is so heavy in itself. You understand? Like, you got children in her womb that are struggling together. You understand? They going back and forth. You know, they tussling, they wrestling within her. You understand? This has been the condition between the so-called white man and the nation of Israel since its inception.
That's right.
Like, this was occurring in the womb. You understand? Like, this ain't something that's brand new. You ever wonder why the so-called white man ain't tussling with the Africans like that? Like, he'll just smack them around real quick. You know, they scared of him, so they want to send them. They want to back down and surrender anyway. You understand? Like, he ain't got to. He'll smack them around. He'll smack the East Indian around. He'll smack an Asian around from time to time. You understand? But when it comes to a perpetual hatred, a continual hatred, a continual oppression, he only has that desire for the nation of Israel.
That's right.
You feel me? This has been in the womb of Rebecca. You understand? Like, this is what's been going on since then. Go ahead.
So, like you, sir, if I may.
Go ahead.
Does this also go back? Does this even go further back when the Most High said that He put enmity between the seed of the serpent and the seed of the woman? Is that a connection, sir?
No, that is absolutely a connection. You understand? Because, you know, the seed of the serpent, you feel me, is that devil.
Good point.
Come.
You understand? You know, right now, you're looking at the seed of the serpent,
Come.
and you're looking at the seed of Adam. So to speak,
Come.
you understand? And when you trace the lineage all the way down, even back to Adam, you understand? They called them the sons of God back then.
Come. Right.
Those sons of God were the men who kept the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High back then.
Come.
And then from Noah's time, through the lineage of Shem, you had Abraham, you had Isaac, and you had Jacob.
Come.
Through Jacob came Christ.
Right.
You understand? Like, so that's exactly that's a great precept for this topic right here. You
Come,
understand?
sir.
You going on?
Verse 23. And the Lord said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb.
And the Lord said unto her, listen, a man didn't say this to her. This wasn't a thought that popped up in her head. You understand? Because a lot of people recognize that Esau and Jacob were physical brothers at one point in time.
Come, right.
But here's the important part right here. This is the important part to understand. It's saying, and the Lord said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb. This is a heavy scripture right here. This is a heavy scripture because they got the same mother and father.
Come.
They in the same sack. They twins. You see what I'm saying? Like, they have the same parents, but the Most High say 2 nations are in thy womb. That means that if you look at nations, that means that, for instance, as an example, we all understand that the East Indian and the Arab are 2 different people.
Come.
But imagine if they were in the same womb. You understand? Like, if they were in the same womb, we would all look at them as brothers.
Come.
Esau and Jacob were in the same womb, and the Lord is separating them. The Lord is making a distinction between them. You understand? He said, 2 nations are in thy womb. Keep going.
And 2 manner of people.
And 2 manner of people. Keep going.
Shall be separated from thy bowels.
Shall be separated from thy bowels. You understand? 2 manner of people. Like, we are 2 different types of people. You understand? Like, us as Israelites, we are completely different from this so-called white man. You understand? Like the whole vibe is different. You understand? Like, the way we get down, the way we think. Like Officer Kawan was bringing out, what peace means to us ain't what peace means to him. Our peace is actually like, man, we can all eat. It's enough room for us all to eat.
Come.
His man of peace is unconditional surrender.
Come.
You got to bow yourself down to me, you understand? In total submission. And that's peace. Like, it's 2 manner of people. It's 2 different types of people who think different, act different, worship different. You see what I'm saying? Like, there is not one white man on the face of this earth, you understand, that's like a black person. I don't give a damn if he grew up in the hood with you. I don't give a damn if y'all have been through the same experiences. You see what I'm saying? At the end of the day, when that situation arises, it's always a particular situation that's going to bring Esau out of Esau. You understand? Like he can be your best friend, so you thought. He can treat you to lunch, he can pay for your rent, he can pay rent from time to time, he can look out for you. But there's going to be a situation that arises, and Esau will always be Esau, you understand? How they always say, you can put lipstick on the pig, you know, but at the end of the day, it's still pork. You understand? Like, it's the same difference. Esau is always going to be Esau. It's two manner of people coming out of her womb. Keep going.
And one shall be stronger than the other.
And one shall be stronger than the other. We all know who that is. We all know that we're stronger than the so-called white man. You understand? Like, we strong in every aspect. We stronger physically, we stronger mentally, we stronger spiritually. You know what I mean? Like, if Esau had to endure the type of trauma, the type of persecution, the type of oppression that we had to endure, Esau would kill himself. You understand? You know, like, always make the what's the name, like, this is why they have so many different weapons of mass destruction. You understand? Like, this is why they invented the gun. You understand? Back in the day, you used to go to war, it was hand-to-hand combat. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, be up close and personal. We all know that he ain't built for that. He got to make a weapon where he can hit you from long range. You understand? Like, he's a weak person. He's weak all the way around the board. You understand? Like, we are stronger than him. Keep on.
And the elder shall serve the younger.
And the elder shall serve the younger. Now, this is also heavy because keep this in mind. This point right here is going to explain a certain point that's going to come up later in the scripture. This is a prophecy from the Lord right here. It says the elder shall serve the younger. Put an asterisk next to that. You understand? Because it was tradition that the first son, he was granted the inheritance. You understand? So if you were born first, when your father passed on, he would pass his inheritance, the greater portion of his inheritance to you. But in this case, it says the elder shall serve the younger. Esau was the first brother. He was the first to come out. You understand? Jacob was the younger. Keep that in mind. Put an asterisk next to that point. Keep on.
Verse 24. And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb.
And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb. There were twins in her womb. This was Esau and Jacob in her womb, struggling together. You understand? Battling, fighting for who's going to be in rulership, so to speak. You understand? We're going to see this come out as we get into it. You feel me? But we've been fighting him since our inception. You understand? Keep going.
And the first came out ready.
Wait a minute. Stop. It's just. I gotta find out what that is, but we gonna keep it moving. This one. I don't know why that does that.
Please smell, sir.
That sounds like somebody's door.
I think there's kids playing in the hall. Let me check this one. I want to check her.
Just open the bag up and whatnot, you know?
chair.
I think both of them. Trade. Both of them.